My name is Jill. I am 26 years old and I am a sexologist. I love being a sexologist. You're not going to find another person who loves their job more than me because I get to talk about sex all day. I am on a mission to teach the world that sex should be fun and pleasure is good for you. I teach sexuality at colleges and universities on topics like the politics of female sexuality and body image. I also teach sex education and empowerment informally in people's living rooms. I have a retail store called Feminique where people can come in and purchase vibrators and lubricants and massage oils and lingerie in a classy, upscale, and sex-positive environment. I write a sex column for a local paper. I write my own blog online, and I just published my first book called Fighting the Crusade Against Sex. I have a bachelor's degree in sexuality and a master's degree in sexuality, and I am wrapping up my doctorate in sexuality. And when I'm done, I'll be the only person in the world with all 3 degrees in sex. But it's not all rainbows and orgasms. We still live in a world where people think we shouldn't be talking about sex, and I have to deal with these people on a daily basis. In the end, I love my job, and it's all just a part of the day in the life of a sexologist. Tonight I am at the Vagina Monologues at the University of Pennsylvania, and this kicks off my Vagina Monologues season for 2012. I do about 15 different Vagina Monologues productions each year, and I set up a table in the lobby, and while people are waiting in line to buy tickets, I build excitement for the event by selling sex-positive and feminist t-shirts, and then I donate 20% of the proceeds to different organizations that speak out against violence against women. I love the Vagina Monologues because I feel like it embodies everything that is important to me and how I do my career. It uses comedy and entertainment to provoke and raise awareness about female sexuality, and also raises money for women who are victims of rape and domestic violence. Even though I talk to people, hundreds of people on stage about sex all the time, all day long, the fact of getting on stage and acting in the Vagina Monologues was petrifying to me, but I got asked to do it when they were short an actress one time, so I obliged and put on a corset and acted in the skit about the woman who makes women moan and she's writhing on the floor in her underwear faking orgasm, and the entire time I'm like, I cannot even believe I'm doing this, because I was so nervous and shy despite what I do for a living.
There was a college student on there. Oh, I should be studying. Oh, I should be studying. And finally, there's a surprise triple orgasm.
But it was worth it. It was fun and it was an experience. I had been wanting to do some sexuality-related humanitarian work for a while, and I found that opportunity in a school in Puerto Plata, Dominican Republic. I was concerned that organizations wouldn't want to bring me in as a volunteer because of the whole sexuality thing, and a few organizations did never respond to my email, but finally Dove Missions was happy to bring me on and utilize my expertise. The conditions in this neighborhood where the children go to school is very painful to look at. There are these makeshift houses and these outdoor toilets with raw sewage running down the street. The average household income in this town is $100 a month. And when you have such severe poverty, it's not uncommon for there to be a high incidence of child sex slavery. As a way for a family to make money, they'll sometimes sell a child into prostitution. The Dominican Republic is actually has one of the highest incidences of child sex slavery in the world, and sex tourism, which is when North American and European men travel on vacation for the explicit purpose of having sex with child prostitutes. I asked the organizers what I could do if I find out that a child is being forced into sexual slavery, and she basically said nothing because the children aren't going to report it because their family needs the money, and if they do report it, the police aren't going to do anything because they make less money than the pimps. The organizers wanted to bring me in because they said in their school there were 10-year-olds who were already sexually active and 18-year-olds who already had multiple children, and there was absolutely no sex education whatsoever. I was nervous going into this educational experience because of the language barriers and because of the cultural differences and I'm not used to working with such young children.
So what I do is I go to classrooms and I teach girls about sex.
Y ella lo que hace es...
When you talk about sex, do you get embarrassed?
Ahora, cuando ustedes hablan de sexo, ¿ustedes se avergüenzan?
No. Yo sí, profe.
Una amiguita mía.
Yo, profe.
In the workshop, we practiced the proper way to put on a condom so they can prevent unwanted pregnancy and sexually transmitted infections. And I answered their typical kid sex questions and dispelled myths that they heard from their friends, just like any child that age asks, no matter what country you're from.
Somebody told her that when you get pregnant, you can have sex.
While you're pregnant?
No, can't.
Oh, can't. No, that's not true. You can.
Eso fue lo que yo le
Tú
dije a ella.
puedes. Tú no.
It does not hurt the baby because the baby's all the way up here.
Y eso no daña al bebé porque el bebé está aquí. Y la vagina está aquí abajo.
The penis is not that big.
Y el pene no es tan largo para llegar
Hay algunos sí, profe, que son así.
And also, as per my mission, we talked about how sexuality is supposed to be fun and pleasurable, not something that is inflicted on you. There were two takeaway messages for me from this experience. One, I never get to complain about my life ever again. And two, education is really important, but what good is it if it can't be used? I taught them how to use a condom, and they have no access to condoms in Puerto Plata. They cost $1.50, which is the equivalent of $43 American. So this is a big problem, and I think that's the next part of my mission, is finding a way to hook up Dove missions with free condoms to make it accessible to their community.